Wow, so let's talk about this unhinged Joy Reid rant that happened around Thanksgiving. Now, tell me this isn't downright attacking Republicans. Watch.
But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches, wipe your own tears, troll amongst yourselves with Elon, and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay. But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you. And for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing. Our Thanksgiving. Our choice.
So what do you guys think? Because to me, it's kind of starting to sound like insurrection coming from the MSNBC host. And this is just the latest from this woman. Over the past few weeks, Joy Reid fumed at Latino voters and told them that they own everything that happens to their families. Really? That's kind of effed up. She also declared that black women were no longer interested in saving America after the results. Joy Reid spoke directly to white female progressives in a TikTok video posted after the election, telling them to keep black women off of their invite lists if they plan to organize in protest of Trump's victory. She told them, don't send any of those invites to any black women because they're not coming. And Joy Reid is just the opening salvo of this Democratic protest against, well, democracy. Here's a whole lineup of officials already declaring war against Trump's mass deportation plan.
Meanwhile, a border battle is forming between President-elect Trump's second administration and sanctuary cities like Chicago. Mr. Trump's team is reportedly threatening to pull back and withhold federal funds from blue-led cities that go against his mass deportation plan, which he plans to enact on day one. The chorus of Democrats continues to grow, including Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson vowing to derail Trump's border security agenda.
We're not going to cooperate. We're not going to ask our police force to serve as ICE agents.
I'm going to do everything that I can to protect our undocumented immigrants. They're residents of our state.
I will fight you every step of the way.
If it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death.
Would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. We are not cooperating with those efforts that actually threaten the safety of everyone by causing widespread fear.
You know what, guys? These officials from the Blue Party are starting to sound like blue insurgents that need to face some serious prison time for their treason. You know what I mean, guys? We're talking about the will of a president that was overwhelmingly elected by a record 76 million Americans. Now they're just saying that they're not going to cooperate? Give me a break. I mean, just imagine, wouldn't it be great if Democrats fought this hard for actual American citizens? But I guess that's just lofty thinking, right? Just take a look at what's happening in Arizona right now with Venezuelan gangs taking over apartments.
President of Aurora, Colorado, is speaking out about the escalating gang violence, accusing local officials and media of downplaying the presence of Venezuela gangs in her community. Cindy Romero, who left her apartment earlier this year due to safety concerns, described the situation as increasingly dangerous. I feel like it's a slap in the face, Romero told Fox News Digital. How many gangs are acceptable in Aurora? How many people need to be displaced? Her comments come as GOP vice presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance and ABC's Martha Radas clashed over former President Donald Trump's claims that Venezuela gangs, particularly the transnational Tren de Aragua, have taken over apartment complexes in Aurora. Radas argued that the incidents were isolated to a few properties, while Vance responded, only a handful of apartment complexes were taken over, and Trump is the problem, not the open border policies. Trump, who visited Aurora last Friday, slammed Biden's immigration policies and vowed to mobilize law enforcement to hunt down and deport gang members. Romero, who briefly appeared on stage during Trump's rally, said her family was forced to move after security cameras captured armed men breaking into a neighbor's home and bullets hit her car. She criticized local police for a lack of response to her 911 calls.
This was not made up by VP-elect Vance nor President-elect Donald Trump. These are actual gangs terrorizing honest, hardworking Americans. But Democrats instead insist that there's no problem in Arizona nor at the border. In fact, they even got failed candidate Kamala Harris considering another presidential run soon. So here's what Jesse Waters and former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy had to say about that. Watch.
Kamala.
Yes.
Kamala's polling well. She's in Hawaii working on her tan with Dougie Fresh. She's working the phones. She thinks she's going to run again, but it is going to be a knife fight. Does she know that?
Yeah, but before she ever thinks to run again, she first has to pay off the campaign this time. She's heavily in debt, $20 million. If she ran for California governor, she'd lose. If she ran for president, she wouldn't get out of the primary. They know for a fact, had they done the right thing and gone back and let the people decide, she never would have won. She never would have been the nominee.
You think that she would lose the race to be California governor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoot, I think I could win if she ran.
Oh, he's going to call it here on the show. He's announcing people.
No.
All right,
I don't think she'd get out of the primary.
Carville's mad.
Now, seriously, guys, Democrats need to get a life, or at least get out of the way so that the adults can actually get to work. You know what I mean? Case in point, there's recent news that a pair of Trende Aragua gangbangers tied to a wild Aurora, Colorado apartment invasion were arrested in a major New York City drug busting or drug trafficking and credit card scam bust that also netted an arsenal of deadly assault rifles. Yeah, definitely a lot to unpack here, guys. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and making sure you're still subscribed. And if you want to take it a step further and buy us a cup of coffee, there's a link in the description down below. Totally appreciate you guys. So yeah, 2 gang members were apprehended. They were picked up during an early morning raid in the Bronx in New York by a gang task force led by the NYPD and the U.S. Homeland Security investigation. They counted a total of 15 suspect members of the Venezuelan migrant gang nabbed following a months-long investigation into narcotics trafficking and gang violence. Meneses and Angulo, in particular, they were allegedly a part of a gun-toting group of bandits who stormed an Aurora apartment in August. The one you saw in that clip earlier, that's from a viral caught-on-camera burglary that made national headlines. And not only that, guys, the group was selling a variety of drugs, including heroin, fake weed, and the synthetic drug Tussie, and also dabbled in credit card fraud and violence. Cops also found a cache of semi-automatic weapons found during the raid, including 3 assault rifles, 2 pistols, and ammo cans packed with cartridges. So far, the Aurora case, both Meneses and Angulo have been charged with first-degree burglary and menacing with a firearm. And seriously, guys, they need to throw the book at these people. As one apartment investor described it, Meneses and Angulo, together with the other suspected gang members, they were first hanging out around the property and creating a bad element that's constant there. And then they started taking over. Quite a few months ago, they started taking over vacant units. Much like other cities, they have seen a rise in migrant crime. Aurora has seen an influx of both migrants and members of the prison gang over the last few years. Needless to say, that's left some terrified and forced others to move. This Thanksgiving also provided us all a very stark reminder of the road not taken, and thank goodness, because that would have been such a train wreck for the country, guys. So yeah, we should all take a moment and just be thankful. Thankful for what, you ask? Thankful that despite all the Democratic lawfare and mainstream media smear campaign, President-elect Trump emerged victorious over Kamala Harris, and we don't have to deal with her for at least another 4 years. To prove my point, all you gotta do is watch Kamala Harris's recent rant that reminded viewers of Joy Reid. So yeah, during Thanksgiving, the vice president chose to end her post-election silence and prove to everyone that she wasn't really doing well. Now I'm gonna basically spare you guys the torture because it basically amounted to an almost 10-minute long word salad from the former presidential candidate Kamala Harris. She told her supporters things that you'd hear from a spiritual retreat. She told them, you have the same power that you did before November 5th, and you have the same purpose that you did, and that you have the same ability to engage and inspire, so don't let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you. Okay, failed candidate turned motivational speaker perhaps? I don't know. You see, I told you guys, it just sounds like Kamala Harris entering her spiritual retreat era. Now, I really wouldn't be surprised if we later hear about her following Gwyneth Paltrow's footsteps and selling Yanni eggs women put up their you-know-where. Because what we got from her is the same kind of message that you get from drunk friends in college. All it was missing was Harris saying, "I love you guys," and then breaking out into tears. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know Thanksgiving has come and gone, but let's just take a moment to say thanks and remember just how close this country came to a decline that other countries are now experiencing. Because on that note, President-elect Trump has been on a roll ever since he's already been sounding himself as an impressive group of individuals who are leaders on current issues. We already got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Sure, he's definitely got some ideas that are out there and considered unconventional by many, but you certainly cannot deny his wish to make it easier for Americans to eat healthier. Make America healthy again, right? Because he's not wrong. I mean, you know me, I'm into fitness and financial independence, and both of those are predicated on living a healthy lifestyle. And if you're healthy, you don't have to spend that much money on healthcare, right? So let me tell you guys, RFK Jr. is not wrong when he highlights the billions of dollars spent by the fast food and sugary drink industries to make Americans less healthy than they should be. So yeah, if Kennedy's energies can be channeled into the right direction, he could bring about some significantly positive changes in America's health. And RFK Jr. is just the start, because each new appointment by Trump seems to bring something promising. For instance, the man that he nominated to head the National Institutes of Health, Jay Bhattacharya, he was ridiculed and underestimated by much of the media and followers of Anthony Fauci in 2020. They even labeled the Stanford professor as a fringe epidemiologist. But you know what? Bhattacharya was more correct on lockdowns, mask mandates, and more than any of the people who pretended that they were mainstream. This guy, I think I would be proud to follow just in case we had to face another pandemic. And then of course, there's the Elon Musk effect, right? Now, some have already started calling the tech billionaire Elon Musk the first buddy in the Trump team. And man, the kind of people that he attracts, other tech geniuses also suddenly flocking to Mar-a-Lago. Just last week, Mark Zuckerberg joined Trump for dinner. I mean, definitely a 180 from when the one-time Democrat mega donor was publicly butting heads with the president-elect. And so now Trump is having him over for dinner? Wow. Now, as a spokesperson for Meta described it, it's an important time for the future of American innovation. And at the forefront of that is president-elect and the good old Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Wow. And it's not just him. Palmer Luckey, born in 1992 and one of the youngest self-made billionaires in America, sold his virtual reality company Oculus for $2 billion in 2014. He's another American innovator that wants to help President-elect Trump shake things up in Washington, primarily through his defense company Anduril. You see, we still live in a country where billions of dollars are wasted on inefficient and soon to be defunct military technologies. And so now the recent wars in Ukraine and the Middle East have highlighted a totally new approach to warfare. So while the Department of Defense contemplates spending billions of dollars on new nuclear submarines that may or may not be operational by the 2040s, companies like Anduril are adapting to the wars of the future. As Luckey said it in a recent interview, it's not a bad idea to have people involved in the defense industry who are deeply aligned with the idea that we need to be spending less on defense while still getting more. That we need to do a better job of procuring the defense tools that protect our country. Can you imagine the stagnation in innovation across tech, defense, or medical industries if joyful Kamala had been elected last month? Now, what really gets me excited about this incoming Trump administration is all the fresh blood that he's injecting into Washington. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that some of the smartest and most successful innovators in the country are actually now in the big game. And that big game is America and America's position in the world, guys. I mean, they're all sharing the same goal, the desire to cut away grotesque government waste, the belief that the American economy, especially the innovation economy, needs to be freed of red tape. And it would be good if Americans knew not only had the tax system, which was understandable, but that they had hard-earned dollars actually doing some good. And know it's going to be a roller coaster these next 4 years. What with Democrats fighting us every step of the way. But isn't it just comforting to know that the people that are surrounding the president-elect not only resonate with his message to make America great again, but also possesses the ideas and the track record to potentially make it happen? Now, one thing's for sure, guys, we will be here covering all of the latest updates as this new Trump era unfolds. So who's with me, guys? Drop a quick comment down below, hit the like button, show your support, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have your notification bell turned on. That way you can get our updates sent straight to your devices. Now, speaking of, we got some other great videos for you guys to check out right here on the channel. I highly recommend that you guys check out the one where we break down the latest in Trump's legal battles against the likes of Jack Smith and Merrick Garland. Spoiler alert, they're not going to win. So definitely watch that video after this one. As always, appreciate you guys hitting the like button and subscribing. Check out this video that's coming up here next or our playlist right down here, and I will see you guys on the next one.